Wait there. Wait. Yeah, so this lot are all boarding dogs from work. So the daycare is open Monday to Friday, but then we take the dogs home during the week as well. Not all of them, but obviously some of them. And yeah, so after school I went to college for tree surgery. But like it was sick, but one of my issues is I get car sick, like motion sickness. So the fact of like hopping in and out of vans all day, I couldn't do it. So then I basically left there and went working full time and just worked at a trampoline park, which was sick because it's like basically lifeguarding the trampolines. Yeah, that kind of, I was there for a few years and it ended up almost being like a weird office job where I ended up being the manager there. So I was just doing like first aid spreadsheets all day. And then having to deal with all the injuries that would follow. So the broken backs and all that. We nicknamed him Flappy Foot because you can imagine the foot went all, yeah. You don't run on the trampolines because that's when injuries happen. Yeah, so I left there and I basically had like a year or so off just to do essentially a gap year, just do what I wanted to do. Bought a van, travelled around in it. I went over to Cologne and all that, went around Europe, did all that fun stuff, and then starting working here, I wanted to get, a job I'd actually enjoy while I still had a bit of money, rather than just being like, fuck, I need some money, get a shit job that I hate. So I started working here. 3.5 years, something like that now. It's near my dad's house, and I would just drive past and look in and see a field full of dogs, and it's like, obviously, you're like, well, I want to work there. Bunny, can you go pow? You're fine. Yeah, so while I was working here, I snapped my foot in half. I did a Derek Duster down a skate park rail at an indoor park. Just put my foot out, snapped it in half. But the good thing is, if there is a good thing, it's like if my foot didn't snap in half, my leg would have gone. Like by me breaking my foot, it saved my leg. So it was, I suppose, the lesser of two evils. But obviously doing that, I then had 4 months off here because it's a very active job. Like if you can't walk around, you're fucked. Just before I broke my foot, I went on my friend Henry's dirt bike. And obviously, as soon as you ride one, you're like, cool, well, I need to get one. But anyway, like, I broke my foot, and I was just sitting at home, and I spend way too much time on Facebook Marketplace buying things that I don't need. There was a deal that was too good to be true, and basically bought a dirt bike that needed quite a lot of love. Anyway, messaged the guy, went to see it. Obviously, I couldn't test ride it because I was like, could barely move, so I got Henry to come with me. He test rode the bike and was like, it's not quite, it's not the best bike. It definitely isn't running right. But like at that point, I'd already committed. I'm like, well, I'm too excited. I want something to do. So I bought it. And then, just slowly was like doing it up. And I'd be there sitting in my camp chair in the garage, boot on one foot, croc on the other foot, but in sport mode, so safety first. And I was just kind of tinkering with that. But yeah, so I had 4 months off for that. And then even it's only kind of up until this year that I've started feeling good again on my bike, because it took way too long to heal. Like, it healed, but I still, when I went back on my bike, like I could feel it. So for like the next year or so, I was kind of just chilling, just like cruising around the skate parks, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not until this year I feel like myself again, which is so good. The issue is trying to get what's in my head and actually get it out there, because I've got like, I suppose, loads of ideas, but it's like trying to actually execute it. And I'll like just shove my camera to someone and be like, oh, this is my vision. Can you try and film it how I've got it in my head? And obviously that's difficult. So shout out the boys that I just throw the camera at and be like, hey, can you film this? Living in Surrey, it's like I would end up finding a spot online or whatever, and then like going there and making a mission out of it, and then obviously you're then left disappointed. And I don't know, it's like when I learned 3 nose 3s, I was like, well, I want to film it in the streets. So I was looking for ages trying to find a spot. And then down in Bristol, there are these weird lumps in the ground. Like, I didn't know the actual location for it, but I knew it was in a park. And like, to be honest, I could have just hit up a Bristol local and like chatted with them. But I searched on Google Maps, like looking at all the different parks, and I found it. Went down and we got the clip. But yeah, like that. We drove down to Bristol. I literally filmed that clip. Miles, my friend, got hurt, like cycling to the spot. He did like his first hop of the day. I think he tried to do like a hop 3. He flopped. We went there, filmed the clip, and then so we're like, cool, let's go home, and just drove back. It was only last year that I started fucking around doing tattoos on myself. Got the girlfriend to do just a few little doodles, and I'm like, well, now I'm obsessed, and yeah, just started playing around with it. We had just like a shitty eBay gun, which, I mean, it worked fine, and we were just using, just cheap stuff, so like the cheaper needles. And then it's not until I went and started getting some proper tattoos, I was talking to the artist, and they were basically, one of the guys gave me some needles and was like, try these, like they're a lot better, like they're more expensive, but you can get away with a cheap gun, but you need like good needles. And it's so much better. And then we just fuck around, like I just started playing on my legs, just drawing anything really. Like, my first one I did, it's hilarious, it's on Kirsten. What was it, the star? Yeah, not ideal, but that's why we love it. And I feel like now I can kind of somewhat do it on other people and not feel like I'm gonna ruin their whole life. If I knew the answer to this question, I don't know. I'll just let the universe do what it needs to do. But yeah, just see what happens. I don't know, I wish I had an answer, like, not even for the video, just for myself. I wish I knew what... I don't know. Every day is a Sunday, that's what they say.